Hey guys, how's it all going? This is Explaining MCU. It's sorry that I took a little bit long to upload another video onto the channel. I actually wanted to see how good that first video would do, and it did phenomenally well for being a very brand new channel. So with Marvel's recent announcement, well, it's not that recent, but their announcement of Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I wanted to go ahead and explain the concept of Captain America Civil War. Now, at first glance, when you heard about this movie, I know a bunch of you, don't lie, a bunch of you thought that Captain America was actually going back or somehow going to be in the American Civil War. I'll be honest, I actually thought that for a while, but then you start thinking, but he wasn't alive in the Civil War, and he nonetheless didn't even have a super serum or super soldier serum back then, but really he just wasn't alive. And so, what is Captain America Civil War? Well, Captain America Civil War is based on the comic book Marvel Civil War, and Marvel Civil War, to put it in simplest terms, is Iron Man versus Captain America. Now, of course, there's a lot of other people, but what I mean when I say that is, if we go ahead and start from the beginning, a group of superheroes called the New Warriors, they basically have like a reality TV show, and they and the very first comic opens up with them looking at a group of supervillains, and the supervillains include, I'll show you on screen now, that's who the supervillain group includes, because I don't know off the top of my head. And so basically they take them all down, and they're, you can see, like, if you read it, I'll put a couple frames of it if I can find them. They're kind of just trying to get ratings and things like that, because it's a reality show. And so they take them all down, and the last one they get to is named Nitro. Now Nitro, he can basically like set off explosions and stuff, to put it shortly. And she says to him, don't try any explosions. And Nova basically says, this isn't a small time thing, you're fighting with the big villains now. And then with that, he basically blows up. And he blows up a big, just like huge nuclear, just like explosion. And he kills a bunch of children, he kills a bunch of people, but especially he kills a bunch of children. And so then, seeing this, everybody's pissed off at superheroes. Now, where it only was the New Warriors' fault that they took them on, and they very, very much knew that they couldn't probably take them on, it was looked at as a fault of all superheroes. And so, we have a scene where there's a funeral for all the for all the people that passed away, and Tony Stark is there. And as he's exiting the building, the church or the funeral home or whatever, as he's exiting that, a woman comes up to him, and then she's kind of a big player in it. She kind of gets this whole thing started, and she basically spits on him, and she says, like, this is your fault, you funded all this, it's all your fault. And then it kind of transpires from there. So basically, what happens is the government wants to, at first, initially, kind of put a ban on superheroes, but nobody wants that. So, there's actually a thing in one of the next slides where they're talking to She-Hulk, and She-Hulk is actually a lawyer, I believe, so that's why they're talking to her, but her in her normal form, because like how Hulk has Bruce Banner, she has her own normal form. And so, basically, she agrees to she thinks it's a good idea that all superheroes be checked. And when I say checked, I mean basically, it's called the Superhero Registration Act, where every superhero has to register and reveal their identity and basically be employed by the government. And you get paid to do it, that's an up, but you do have to reveal your secret identity, and this is a bad thing for many reasons. The secret identity is there to protect your family, so, I mean, say Spider-Man, for example. Spider-Man has so many villains, and if he gives up his identity as Peter Parker, then all the superheroes will now be able to target Peter Parker's family. And that just stays true for a lot of superheroes. Target your family to hurt you, and it can just be very bad. And so, what it comes down to is that Iron Man leads a faction, a team against the Registration Act. He wants freedom. He doesn't want people to have to sign for this Registration Act. And Iron Man leads a team of heroes that are completely for the Registration Act. And Iron Man teams up with the government. Captain America ends up going underground. And as the events progress, you know, that's basically it. And the ending, if you don't want to hear the ending of the comic and you want to read it yourself, then I'll go ahead and tell you what time to skip to. Alright, so if you stayed here and you're fine with the spoiler, Captain America actually gets shot in the head. And I showed this to you in my last video when I talked a little bit briefly about this, but Captain America gets shot in the head and he gets killed. And then eventually the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, takes over. And so, the reason I'm thinking that they won't do this is because I mean, it is owned by Disney, but I mean, there's a couple things that do lean towards it. Like, for instance, is that Chris Evans, the actor who plays Captain America in the movies, Steve Rogers, he doesn't really want to continue being Captain America or acting in general, I believe. But the actor who played Bucky Barnes, and the Winter Soldier, he's fine with continuing his thing, and I'm pretty sure that could, you know, with Civil War happening, that could be a very, very good way for them to say goodbye to Chris Evans as Captain America and Steve Rogers as Captain America, and eventually have somebody else take over. So, with all that being said, I hope that gave you a little bit of light towards what Captain America Civil War is going to be about. And, yeah, so thank you for all the support coming on the videos, guys. It really helps out a lot. And, I know a lot of you guys watch the videos and then, don't comment or subscribe, but if you guys could comment or subscribe, it would help me a lot by knowing that you guys are enjoying my video. And feedback would be very, very, very appreciated, because I want to know if I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something good, and generally just things like that. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Explaining MCU, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.